I just want to bring joy to people and bring a little bit of lightheartedness to people's life. Oh, I'm not so comfortable here. I don't know why. Let me see. Good morning. I felt compelled to sit down and make a little video to talk a little bit about my channel. I'm not a content creator. I never started my channel to be a content creator. I started my channel to just document my day-to-day life for my loved ones that live far away and can't be with me. I have 4 grandchildren that watch my channel. Hey! And so my channel was originally started for that purpose. And my life, as my son says, is very eccentric. I think that's funny. And he's like, "You're the most eccentric person I know." And I don't say that in a bad way. So I thought that was super cute. So I like to kind of think of my life as whimsical and erratic and unpredictable, which it absolutely 100% is all those things, and maybe a little eccentric. I don't know. And the reason I want to kind of come to you and talk to you about this is because my channel is growing, which was a really huge surprise to me. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And recently I have discovered that some of my subscribers actually watch my channel to kind of wind down at the end of the day. And one of my subscribers told me, she said, it's familiar. And I loved that. So I want to continue making my little videos for people that I know and people that I don't know that are learning to know me. And hopefully it'll bring some sunlight and some joy into your life. I have given this caveat so many times, but I feel like it's really important to give it again, is that I don't have a niche. I don't do this thing or that thing. I just live and record what I'm doing. And some days my life is super boring. And some days I do really wonderful, fun things, like look at tiny houses that turned out to be mobile homes that I learned so much about the difference between tiny houses and mobile homes. So let me go back a little bit and kind of explain for some of you that haven't been here with me since the beginning. And I just have to say that my channel is only 6 months old. I thought it was 7 months old, and I kind of counted it up, and it's coming up on 7 months old. So, and I have under 500 subscribers, so it's a really small channel. And I thank all of you that are loyal in watching me. And making comments. I love your comments. I love them so much. So so that kind of brings me to one of the points I want to make. As my channel grows, I am kind of getting, I wouldn't say bad comments, but a little bit snarky. And 2 that I can think of right away is, one of them was, "Are you on drugs? Like, what is wrong with you?" And to that, I want to reply, no, I'm not on drugs. In fact, I was on anxiety meds for 7 years, and I've weaned myself off of them. I'm not on any drugs. I have maybe a glass of wine once or twice a week, but no alcohol, no drugs. This is just who I am. Oh, and I wanted to say that I do have ADHD and anxiety, and I'm sure that plays a huge role in just my behavior. And then the other comment that stuck out to me is, it was very simple. It just says, "That lady is disturbed." It's so funny because it's the absolute opposite. I might be disturbing to other people. Clearly I am, but I'm not disturbed. My life is really playful, really whimsical. It's really fluid. I do whatever I want. I don't have really any boxes that I put myself into. So I live in a little cottage, and I have to leave the cottage anytime from now to whenever, like 2 or 3 years. And so I'm not sure. I'm looking for a property to buy. And once I buy the property, I'm going to have a house somehow fabricated. I don't think I like the modular homes that I looked at in the other video. I just think they're way too fancy and too fragile for my lifestyle. I'm going to be buying property in the woods or forest. Up here in the California foothills, we have woodlands, oak woodlands, and then they turn very quickly into conifer forests. So, and there's a blend there. So I don't know. I'm looking all through that whole area. There's 3 counties that I'm looking at to purchase in, and I have brought you along on one of those searches. As I continue to search, I'll bring you along. So once I purchase the property, then I have to go through a really laborious task of getting electricity and water put on the property. And that's going to be a lot. I mean, sometimes there's plumbing nearby on some of the properties. Sometimes I have to have a well dug. There's just so many different variables that can go on in this surge. And then once I'm done with the pad, the electricity and the water being put onto the property, then I'm going to purchase a tiny house or have something built. One of my best friends, fiance is a contractor, thinking about maybe having him build me something to my specs. I don't know. The world is wide open for me. If you come along on my journey, you're going to, I wouldn't say it's a bumpy ride, but it might be a little bit of a wild ride. And I might take you places you don't expect to go and do things that you didn't think was my niche or whatever. So, I ask you just to be patient with me, deal with my ADHD and my anxiety. Or not, or not. I mean, you don't have to. I just want to bring joy to people and bring a little bit of lightheartedness to people's lives. I have been told a lot in my real life that I am the sunshine, like I bring the sunshine, or I'm the ray, or whatever. And oh, I love this. I'm just going to share this with you, just because I have to remember this a lot of the time. I went to this, was she a palm reader? I think she was a palm reader. I don't know. It was at this event that I was at, so I just decided to do it and go talk to her. And so she was like, really sweet older woman, and I don't know if she just said this just to, make me feel good or whatever, which is probably the case, but that's okay. It worked. It made me feel good. I'll pay her $20 to make me feel good. So anyway, so I went to there, blah, 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 blah. And she said that the takeaway for me was, she was looking at my hand and she said, you walk in beauty. And I said, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. I think that's a Navajo saying. And I am part Native. My father is part Native. Well, he passed now. And so I said, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Thank you. And she goes, wait a minute, that's not right. I was like, oh, okay. And she said, no, that's not right. I'm looking at this and I'm getting, where you walk, beauty grows. And I loved that. And so if I had any goal in life, which I don't much, other than buying property and getting a stable place to live for the rest of my life, but other than that, like a big esoteric goal, I would want it to be that I bring, where I walk, beauty grows. I would love that to be like my legacy. And oh my God, I don't want to cry, but it makes me sad when people say I'm crazy. It makes me sad when people say I'm disturbed. You can tell me I'm disturbing because I do get it. I'm a lot to take, which would probably be why I'm still single. But anyway, my father wasn't an educated man. He came from the Appalachia and he dropped out of school in the 8th grade to help his family. He was the youngest of 12 children, and as I already said, he was part Native, and he was a beautiful soul, but one time he told me, and maybe he told me this because he knew I was different, but he told me one time, if we were all the same, the world would be a boring place. And I just love that you are loving my content. I love that you're commenting, and I would say I have probably had over 400 comments, and I've only had really two snarky ones. So overall, it's a good experience for me, and I hope it's a good experience for you. Go out there and make it a great day. Bring some love and some beauty into the lives of the people you know. And of all things, stay whimsical. I'm not sure I like this video. I'm not going to redo it. I do one take and that's it. If I don't like it, I delete it. I move on to something different.